SnowRunner is the latest installment in the popular Spin Tires series, and it's an addictive off-roading game worth checking out. The game is available on PC, Xbox One and PS4, and you can get it by clicking the link in the description below. A huge thanks to Focus Home Interactive for sponsoring this video. SnowRunner is the next big installment and the successor to the game MudRunner. In MudRunner, the main objective was to transport and deliver logs across various forest maps. SnowRunner is built on the Swarm engine, and this allows it to be more than MudRunner. A lot more. Be it in terms of physics, content, graphics or gameplay, SnowRunner seems to be very promising. Delivering cargo by conquering extreme open environments with very realistic and unforgiving terrain physics. Unlock or buy up to 40 vehicles from brands such as Ford, Chevrolet, Freightliner and a lot more, and upgrade and customize them according to your needs. The game offers a lot of terrain to explore and a lot of mud to get stuck on. There is Michigan, Alaska and Taymor. Every location has a backstory to it, and your help is needed to get it back to its feet. Players need to tackle a wide variety of contracts, explore the wilderness and take on a multitude of challenges. The game starts you off in Michigan, USA, which is damaged by a devastating flood. As the first mission, you transport repair materials to help repair a collapsed bridge using one of your trucks. You can unlock some of the vehicles just by driving near to it. Once the requirement is met, you'll be able to reach your first garage. Each map will have a garage where you can store, buy, sell, customize or recover your vehicle whenever you get stuck. Speaking of getting stuck, there are a lot of ways to do that. Running out of fuel, damaging the vehicle, and the usual getting deep bogged in mud stuck. Every vehicle comes with a standard winch that could be used to pull yourself out of the mess. The quick winch is a new and welcome feature. Pulling out with another truck is something you are going to use often, given how unforgiving the terrain is. I was once stuck with a mega-sized trailer in the back, and I had to use another truck to pull it from there. It took me at least an hour just getting out of that situation, so I would recommend playing with friends. Use whatever you have with you to get unstuck. I even had situations where I had to use my crane to push back my truck, and it worked very well. So there are tons of solutions. Trucks with repair attachments can be used to repair damaged vehicles, fuel tankers to refuel vehicles that run out of fuel, and even transfer fuel from one vehicle to the other. You can also use the recover to garage function. I wish there was some sort of penalty for using it too much, at least in the co-op mode. I found myself using this feature way more than I need to. The whole game does offer a season pass, which comes with the premium edition giving access to content for a whole year, released in 4 phases. This includes new maps, vehicles and new activities. Along with this comes free updates and extra content for all. The graphics are gorgeous in SnowRunner. The textures, lighting, atmosphere, level design, everything looks very good. The mud looks good, the trees look good, the water looks good, everything. I don't have any complaints here. Snow maps are a new feature in the series and they look fantastic. I'm not running everything on high, but the game is running pretty smooth on my laptop. The render distance has also improved significantly compared to the older game. The general driving physics is improved a lot more compared to MudRunner, and it feels different and better. The older game had issues with physics on tarmac. Vehicles behaved with very little traction on tarmac at speeds. It's fixed now, and vehicles act pretty well. Mud, snow and ice all have their own physical behaviours, and they deform very well. They each take into account the vehicle weight, tyre spin and even the water content of the terrain. Snow is new in the series. Snow has completely different qualities as mud, taking into account vehicle momentum, snow depth and snow wetness. Using a vehicle that has all-wheel drive with differential lock is highly advised, or else you are going to struggle a lot. Different tyres make a significant difference in the capability of a vehicle. Snow chains are available to use in snow maps, and they make a ton of difference. Truck damage is improved a lot compared to MudRunner. Instead of having one common damage model, it's now detailed and divided into parts. The coolest part about the damage system is that you can even get flat tyres now. The weight of the vehicle, the weight of the trailer, the centre of gravity of the vehicles, the tyre types, all these affect how a vehicle reacts. SnowRunner has one of the best physics for an off-roading game. The realism of driving through mud, snow or ice provides an accessible challenge for everyone. SnowRunner is about driving of all kinds. There are dozens of mission types for you to find and complete, like clearing rocks, assisted stranded vehicles, delivering extreme loads with unique challenges, and many more. There are in total 3 main locations, namely Michigan, Alaska, and Tamin, each with its own distinct setting, objectives, and challenges, consisting within the 11 new sandbox maps in total. Each of these maps are up to 4 times the size of MudRunner's map and are interconnected using a tunnel system. There will be missions in which players will need to travel across different maps to deliver cargo using these tunnels. The game offers a lot of gameplay. Playing alone could take hundreds of hours to finish a map, so it's best to play with friends. There are different contracts you can take to earn XP and cash. XP levels up your driver rank and in turn unlocks different modifications for your vehicle. Tasks are similar, but they are more like side missions. There are also contests that are basically timed side missions. They offer better rewards, better your performance. There is no order in which one should do the missions. Players have the freedom to do them in any way they like. Although I would recommend clearing the waypoints and block roads first so that the locations are easily accessible. Players also have the freedom to choose whichever route to take. Each route they take comes with its own challenges, and it is important to plan the route to find the best path to deliver your goods safely. Some upgrades lie in the map, and driving near them unlocks a certain upgrade for certain vehicles. Watchtowers are to be unlocked to reveal whatever lies underneath it. There could be missions, trailers, and even trucks. Driving next to a watchtower unlocks them. Scout vehicles are best for unlocking watchtowers and upgrades. They can be made capable by modifications like lifting the suspension, putting on some better off-road capable tyres, and an electronic winch, so that you can winch yourself out even if the vehicle is rolled over. Electronic winches are less powerful, but they do work with the engine turned off, so it's perfect for scout vehicles. And if you are down on money, you can always sell one of your vehicles. If not careful enough, vehicles can roll over easily. And you may even end up on a tree like I did. Sometimes you'll have to use the recover function after driving very far from your garage. This is when you'll need to upgrade your winch to a more powerful one. There are hundreds of missions that can be tackled in a completely open way, in single-player or multiplayer co-op in groups, of up to 4 players. In some missions, players have to transport huge, mega-sized trailers to a drop point, and some of these are really challenging to maneuver just because of the sheer size of it. There is a lot of variation in missions compared to MudRunner. Some are search and delivery missions, where you need to find the cargo first, load them using a crane, and deliver them. Some are rescue missions where you rescue stranded vehicles. There are some missions in which you need to scan certain areas using a seismic vibrator module in hopes of finding oil-rich terrain. Some of these locations are near to what looks to be radioactive locations in Russia that have been stranded for ages. And just driving through them gave me chills. By delivering the supplies in certain missions, we can witness the progression of new buildings or bridges being built up in the hostile environment. The game does support wheels, and it's very fun to play with it. There is a cockpit camera available too, offering highly detailed interiors with working gauges, with each vehicle having a unique and realistic interior. But the game is not without any negative points. The driver arms are annoying unless you are playing with a wheel. An option to hide them would have been good. I liked the sound effects in SnowRunner a lot, but sometimes while driving in lower gears, vehicle sounds tend to be looping. Hear it for yourself. While loading cargo, there is an option for manual loading which can be done using a crane to gain some bonus points. Also, while unloading multiple cargoes, sometimes there is an order you deliver them, so watch out for it. I didn't realise it at first, but I wish the game had some sort of hint whenever you tried to deliver the wrong cargo first. But this is only something that players will encounter in the first few hours of gameplay, so it's fine. The game doesn't explain itself very well. Basic hints will show up, but I had to learn a lot by myself since I feel like the tutorial doesn't cover most of the necessary features. Some of the gameplay elements and missions were confusing with the limited information given. Bugs are present in the game, and I happen to run into a couple of them. I've had instances when nearby fences would just fall apart as I'm driving near them. There were also instances where I wasn't able to click on my winching point with my controller, but it was working fine with my mouse. They are in no way game-breaking, but just something to watch out for. Players can modify vehicles according to different missions, and modifying make them more capable. Modifications include swapping the engine for increased power, upgrading the gearbox, lifting the suspension, upgrading the tyres, changing the drivetrain, mounting a crane, and a lot more. There is also visual customization such as adding a light bar, changing the bumper, rims, colour, etc. Fuel tends to run out fast, so players need to keep an eye on it and plan the journey, especially in missions where you need to go through multiple maps. Using the all-wheel drive function drains the fuel a lot more faster, so use it wisely. The game features day and night cycle and different weather systems such as mist, rain, even snowfall. I wish the day and night cycle were a bit more slow, since I tend to keep on playing it for hours. Time can be skipped without any penalty. This is a good feature for those who don't want to drive at night, since it's much harder because of the lack of visibility. The game does feature modding support even for consoles, thanks to a brand new partnership with mods.io. This is very exciting, and I can't wait to check out what the community comes out with, especially with this much graphics and realism. The game offers a lot of vehicles as well as trailers that can be bought, but it takes a lot of time to get them. This is a good thing since it makes you work for it and choose them carefully. Logging will be making a return in Phase 3 of the Season Pass and with reworked logging activity. This is a game that makes you feel alone in the world. This, with the atmosphere, sound and music, you feel wonderfully immersed in the game exploring the wilderness. The game is currently only on the Epic Games Store and it's perfectly fine for most people. I've heard from many people not getting the game just because it's not on Steam, but I think it wouldn't be a wise decision to reject the game just for that reason, because once you start, it's unreal how addicting it is. I can see how people get frustrated and complain about getting underpowered vehicles at first, just because they are getting stuck all the time. This is not a game for everyone. The progression is slow, but if you enjoy simulation games, I think you'll be fine. For me, this is the kind of game that makes me sit back, relax, and just sink into the game's atmosphere. I was more than satisfied with just single player, and I've heard multiplayer works good, but unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to try it, so I can't tell you much about it. The game makes you feel stranded, working hard, delivering supplies for a country that's down, but you still feel hope in the end. It's a game that puts you at the edge of your seat going 5 miles per hour. The game world, the graphics, the physics, the sound, the music, everything makes it a wonderful experience to play this game. For me, it's the best thing that has happened in 2020. This is a game worth buying 100%, and if you like MudRunner, you won't be disappointed getting even the premium version of this game.